This is a DSi, wait for it, LL. This is a Japanese console. It is serial number WJF105549947. I'm going to quickly go over why I gave it the condition score that I did. So the physical condition of the shell, I gave it a 1 out of 3. You can probably already see right away. This top shell is pretty scratched up, mainly light scratches. There are some pretty prominent scuffs right there. My poor camera does not like grabbing onto glossy surfaces. Scratch right there, general marks around the edges of the screen, kind of what you would expect, and just kind of, as I'm shining my light across it, you can just see very light hair scratches everywhere. No real deep gouges, no like big deep scratches, but just a lot of light scratching. Other than that, as far as this top shell is concerned, there's like some interesting there's like a mark right there. I noticed like a very like light pry mark right there. Tiny scratch here on the edge that I have to kind of get my light to show. Nothing crazy. Nothing that I'm really going to point out specifically. As I go around it, it looks really good. And when I get to the back shell, this back shell piece is in very good shape. The only problems that I see is up on the corners near the shoulder buttons. A little bit of the paint sort of rubbed off or chipped off. But aside from that, you can kind of tell this back shell piece is in amazing shape. That was a hair. Okay, I'm like, don't tell me I just noticed a scratch I didn't see before. Upper shell piece is in very good shape. I have no problem with it. And the only thing I notice about this lower shell piece is, if you can probably already see it already, these sort of like discolored sections around the A button. I guess there's a little bit around the X button as well. But specifically the A and the D-pad, that is just friction wear from a finger. Just wearing down the shell. So that is expected. I can't say it's like not unsightly, but it is something that is noticeable, but otherwise harmless. So just sort of a combined bit of problems brought it down to a 1 out of 3. The physical condition of the hardware. Now this is all of the buttons and screw covers. I'll start with the screw covers. All the screw covers are fine with the exception of this one right up here. It has the hole on the bottom right where, just as part of the process of me taking these screw covers out, just sometimes they just get damaged. As careful as I am, just sometimes that happens. So I think it's rather benign, but it is damage. Yeah, there it is. Just that little tiny like notch. But the more major reasons why I knocked off score is the A button has a tiny bit of damage on it. It's just like a little good scratch on it. And the D-pad has some good scratches on it as well as some marks like right to the left of the D-pad. There's a mark right above it. There's a couple scratches throughout. Nothing that I could feel with my finger. I didn't even notice those were even there until I went looking for them. So it's kind of up to you to decide whether or not that's a problem. And then on the R button, I think, yeah, right there, there's a bit of paint rubbed off. A little hard to see. L button, I think, was alright. The feet for the console are perfectly serviceable. Volume button, no problem. SD card slot cover, also good. So next is the physical condition of the screens. Those are going to be the lens and the digitizer. I gave a 2 out of 3, only because the top screen has some material underneath the lens. Pretty much everything that you're seeing up there is because of dust and debris under there. Not enough. None of those particulates are big enough to block any of the pixels. So that's why I leave them under there. And it's really just in the environment I'm in, as I'm currently combating it. It's very dusty down where I'm at. So if I remove this top lens to try and remove debris, inevitably more debris goes into it. in the effort of me trying to remove it. So I just have to get it to a point to where I get all of the large pieces of debris out so it doesn't block any pixels when the screens are on. But it isn't perfect. I didn't mention the bottom screen at all because the bottom screen is actually perfect. It's an OEM digitizer, and it does not have a scratch on it. I have a screen protector on it, and the only real thing that is sort of a consequence of the screen protector is I did have to sort of peel up a corner to get a hair out. So there is some bubbles right here that I can't exactly work out. And the very top edge of the screen protector, it's going to be a little hard to show. Just has some, like, I don't know, just sort of roughage up there. But it's at the extreme edge, and other than that, this screen protector is, or the digitizer itself is in amazing shape. So because of that, I knocked off a point. It's not perfect, but is what it is. Screen condition. Okay, the screen condition are the LCD displays themselves. I'm going to turn off my light and not do that. I gave these a 2 out of 3, mainly because I noticed that the bottom screen is more red. Now, it's really up to you if that's important, but the way I see it is I try to get these screens as close as I can to match. Every screen has sort of a different color temperature to them depending on how they were calibrated out of the factory. Most of the times when I get in junk consoles, only one of the screens are good, so inevitably I have to pair odd screens together. And in the case of these screens, I got them as close as I could, but the bottom screen is still noticeably a little more red. But if you don't plan on staring on this screen for the entirety of your ownership of this console, once you start playing content, playing a game, I would be very hard-pressed to believe that I could even notice the difference. If I started playing a game, I would never know. I think even my personal console has some amount of yellowed displays on it, which I think is a little even beyond what I would be comfortable selling, but once I start playing a game, I don't even notice it. So that is why I gave it the score that it did.